All right, ladies and
Wow.
gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to RosterBound. My name is Ivory Lewis, representing with Addison Stirling out of Brentwood High School. The Eagles are in the house number 2. He's one of those guys that's a magnet to the ball. He's a dual guy. I think he could play strong safety. He could play center. He could play whatever he wanted to, and running back. I saw him out of the backfield. So, Addison, talk to me. How's your season going so far?
Season's going good. Start out really strong and we're finishing really strong, playing both ways
Yeah,
and putting up some solid performances. And hopefully after this Friday, we'll be in playoffs.
I like it. Yeah, playoffs. That's got a ring to it. I heard that you had some news. What are your top schools as far as your top 3 dream schools, and who has an interest in you right now?
All right. Well, actually, I basically shut down my recruitment. I think I'm going to play football at Macalester up in Minneapolis. Um,
Ooh.
yeah, I like that. Love the team down there. I love the academics. Just a great school in general.
I love it. You heard it here first. And on top of that, he's a student athlete. So, going to high school at Brentwood, it's actually probably had you more than ready for academics. When you first got in as a freshman, talk to me about, and I don't want to overshadow that. We're going to talk about you shutting down recruitment the whole nine, but how has your academic, you know, your journey been? Has it been something that was easy? Do you have some great
Mhm.
teachers? What's going on?
Um, so I've gone to a very hard school through middle and high school.
Yeah,
And there's definitely a lot of pressure they put on like the academics there.
sure.
And I mean, they really make you work for it. So I would say I've learned to kind of deal with a lot of work while balancing this all on top of football. Whether it's like when we're in season, it's pretty hard, and especially out of season, still doing all the workouts and kind of really learn to balance and especially like find the teachers I love to, I guess, make it as easy as possible. But it's turned me, I guess, into a pretty good academic weapon, I guess they could say.
Said a weapon, an academic weapon. So you're a student athlete at its finest because obviously you don't go to Brentwood, you don't go to the schools that you've been to without understanding those things. If you were to talk to yourself as a freshman or talk to one of your teammates, what would be one of your biggest or top 3 tips of getting through high school being a student athlete?
Um, I would say the first tip is never put football too much in front of school, even though it's hard because, it's an easy game to love. And always like talk to your coach, like, if you need to maybe do a meeting that cuts into, 15 minutes of lift after school,
Yeah,
you can always go 15 minutes after practice to make that up. And, if you communicate that with your coach, it really helps. I
yeah,
guess kind of balance that out. And I'd say lastly is even though it's easy to just go home after practice and just lay in your bed and kind of just fall asleep, as you're so tired, sometimes you just gotta just kind of sit through it and
yeah.
sit through it and get all your work done.
Let me ask you this. I know that you just said that you shut down recruiting and Macalester, right?
Mhm.
You're going to Macalester. When you talk to the coaches, obviously they probably ask you these questions, but I'm going to ask you because you never know. Life is different. You got the portals, all that different stuff. I want to know what they're getting. Are they getting a dog or somebody that's just you're gonna stay on the porch? What are they getting? Are you a hard worker? What are you bringing out there to McAllister?
I'm a hard worker, and I will say I'm very versatile. I can
Yes.
play pretty much whatever's asked of me, and I also think I have the tools to be, a fast impact, I guess, to the football team. Whether it's freshman year, I think I could easily see a lot of the field.
Yeah.
I just got to keep my head down and keep putting on weight, getting speed, get better agility and all that, and just learning the positions better. But I'm ready to just kind of go out there and compete no matter the age and just keep it.
So I want to ask you this because you just said something that made me think about this. Brother, I saw your tape. I saw your film, old school. Sorry, but I saw it, and everything that just jumped off me was you're like feels like you're nobody can get their hands on you. You slip off of people, and you get into the back like you have a nose for the ball. Was that something that you had just coming out, or just it was an instinct, or did a coach that you want to give a big shout out to give you some attributes that helped you out with that? Because I swear to you, man, it just seemed like it didn't matter if you were coming off the edge, if you were in the slot, or if you were trying to cover somebody from 15, 20 yards, you had perfect angles. Talk to me.
I would say I probably owe it a lot to my old coach, Coach Hump. He really taught me to kind of play, as you're taught, but a little like a, I mean, a lot of it's kind of intuitive, I guess.
Sure.
And the more you play, I guess the more you study, the more you watch film,
Hmm.
I guess the pieces all kind of come together and you can kind of almost see some routes before they're happening, see where the gaps are going to be before the play starts. And I think he really like kind of drilled that into my head and even sat down with me and worked out like how you actually do this. And I would say as a freshman, I was a good player. I wasn't great. And working with him, I guess my improvement was pretty like
So is this the DB's coach or is this the defensive coordinator?
this is the defensive coordinator and running back coach. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I know why he was used, at running back. Now, I even talked to you before we got on, and I said the first thing that stuck out to me with your offense on the offensive side, coming out of the backfield, you're hitting wheel routes for 30 yards, looking like a receiver, like a Z or like. What was it? Is that just instinctual? Did you always were you always able to track the ball, catch? What was that?
I actually I always kind of wanted to be a receiver before him. He kind of pushed me into the running back position.
Sure.
I would say mostly because I guess I'm a pretty durable dude.
Yeah.
I don't really go down. I don't really get injured. And I will say, I guess I've kind of like learned how to read blocks pretty well through especially freshman sophomore year and
Yeah.
going into junior year he kind of gave me the opportunity to get playing time at running back and I was really only playing defense from then and yeah I mean so I guess past experience of receiver mixed with like the new things he was teaching me at running back kind of opened up the field a lot more.
My goodness. So not only are you good at catching the ball out of the backfield, a jack of all trades. I also saw your running style, like you said, you just don't go down. You're durable. You can play both ways. It feels like you're one of those guys from Colorado or something like that. One of those guys that might win a Heisman Trophy. But talk to me about this. What's your if you get an opportunity to make it to the NFL, and what would you actually say, or who are you looking to be like? Who do you mimic your game after in the current NFL and in the past? Maybe your mom or dad talked about a guy or two. Give me a couple guys currently right now that you mimic your game after, and then a couple guys from the past, like all time. Who do you mimic your game after?
Hmm. I guess playing style for it's kind of hard because I play both ways, but
Yeah,
I would say mentality. I really like and sometimes I'll listen to podcasts, like James Robinson, for example, a couple of years back, undrafted, started his first year. I mean, those guys that kind of I guess the underdogs have some really good like stories and also have like some very strong mentalities of just like
sure,
kind of not quitting because it does get rough sometimes
of
and
course.
sometimes it feels like you know you're not going to make it as far as you think. And then I would say, I mean, it is biased. I am a Jags fan. I love,
Okay,
I mean, on defense, I've loved watching like Jalen Ramsey, especially like
not this.
on the Jags. I love the confidence, and I really, I really like how he kind of backs it up. And he's a physical corner,
Mhm.
which I really try to embody myself. Like
Yeah,
I don't want I don't want to be the one where I guess the running back escapes out of the backfield and I'm getting run
I
over.
want to see
I
it.
want to be the one kind of, laying the hit on that.
So I saw you in the slot, like playing nickel. What position do you love to play on offense, and then what position do you love to play on defense?
I would say on offense, I've definitely found a love for running back.
Okay,
I mean, it's a fun position. It's also super important. And then defensively, I do love covering, but I kind of played outside or like corner and then safety my junior year and
sure,
sophomore year. And I don't know, I guess I kind of want to be involved more with like the run. And I felt like I had more to offer, like stopping the run.
sure.
And I guess so they tried moving me to kind of like yeah, like a slot corner. And it worked. It worked very well. I picked up a lot of tackles my junior season, still doing great in coverage. And I really found a love for, I guess, that like I said, more physical aspect of like while still being able to cover
Sure.
the ball.
You know, I'll throw this name out. You probably don't even know him, but there's a guy by the name of Troy Polamalu,
I
and
do know.
he's like a strong safety type position. I just instantly, when I saw you on defense, I saw you as a strong safety, a guy that's sort of roaming or a star, whatever you want to call it. And you just got the it factor. You can actually be in the backfield. You could be on sacks. You know, that corner blitz on the weak side. All sorts of stuff that you can do. I'll say this: if you remember two or three of your best plays, give me a couple of best plays. One play on offense and one play on defense, and where you were playing, and was it like what a playoff game or anything like that? What's give me offense first and then defense second.
I would say offensively, I would probably say it's very recently.
Okay,
I guess we took our starters off at the end of the game. I personally like playing the game all the way through. I don't sometimes love when coach does it, but can't really argue with him.
yeah.
And they just scored three touchdowns in the span of I want to say like 7 minutes. Our backups weren't doing great, and I just kind of like told coach just like put me in for like literally like 1, 2 runs. I'll help us pull away again, and I think I ran it for like 65 yards to the house. It was probably my best run of like probably my career.
Oh, man.
And yeah, I just like kind of shed a lot of guys and that was a good memory. And then I would say on defense, it was definitely versus our rivals last year.
Okay.
We were actually down to them by halftime and we just scored, kind of tied it up, but then they were driving again to score. And the receiver tried to stop and go on me, and I probably had the best catch of my life. It was definitely my best interception.
So you
Just
Randy Moss him. Okay.
yeah, I mean it's just like, and there's just like a photo of it, just like me basically just diving in the air, like bodies like all off the ground. It's I mean the photo just like it's my screensaver, and like I just love that play.
I also think you remind me a lot of Christian McCaffrey. And I know this is big, tall grass, but your running style, like you have a gait. I don't know. Do you run track?
I do run track, yeah.
Okay, so I can tell you've got that track speed, and it might not look like it when you're running a 40 or whatever the case is. You just haven't had that, but it translates literally on tape. And I'm just super excited about that. So, mom or dad, who was the person that actually got involved or loving football?
Dad, I mean, he's been
Yeah.
the biggest football fan, like
Yeah.
I mean, since I can remember. Huge Gator fan.
Okay.
He used to lift with the team back in back when he went to college there. And that's when like Emmett Smith was there and he played running back in high school. And I mean, he just like
Oh,
he like has been like basically trying to like get me to model my game off him.
yeah.
And ever like, I mean, I've been playing football like I don't even know how young I was. And yeah, it was definitely him.
Well, I'll say this, man. Look. I appreciate you for having a little moment with us. We want to go ahead and follow your career. We want to make sure we get a chance to talk to you your freshman year, and you are roster bound. I know that there's a couple of things that's going on right now in your mind. What's going to happen freshman year in college and all that other stuff? Am I going to go ahead and finish here? Am I going to finish there? But get a great degree. And my ultimate question is: after your college and your NFL, I'm going to name it. I'm claiming it for you. After your NFL career, what are you going to end up being? Are you going to be something? Do you have a specific career that you like to land into?
Mhm. I'm gonna be an entrepreneur for sure. I've actually I've already started, I guess, a business with my friend.
Okay.
That's gonna release soon, which is nice. And it's just like, yeah, I've kind of found a love in it.
Yeah,
And allows me to kind of be like, I guess like I have my own boundary in it, which is very
yeah.
nice. And like I can kind of be creative and kind of, I don't know, there's no limitations, I guess, which is nice. And I just love it.
I saw the movie No Limit, man. Listen, I'm going to end with that and say you have no limits. Listen, God bless you, my friend. Have an amazing rest of your senior year. Can't wait to follow you. Can't wait to do a follow up interview in the next couple of months and just see where you're at, how you like things, and anything that you need from us, let us know. And you are roster bound, so we're gonna go ahead and end there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Addison Stirling, number 2 from Brentwood Eagles, the high school where a whole bunch of people fly, and can't wait to see you guys in the actual playoffs this year. I'm claiming that too.